Hello, everyone. I'm going to take off my mask to speak. Today, I am joined by my colleague in government, Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz, and our partners in the community, Thomas Buford, the new president and CEO of the Buffalo Urban League, Lucy Candelario, Executive Director of the Bell Community Center, Ram Song from the International Institute of Buffalo, and Mary Jean Jakubowski, the Executive Director of the Buffalo and Erie County Library, and Jessica Lazarine of the City Law Department and the Chair of the Buffalo Count Us In Committee. We're here to talk about the importance of having a complete census count in our community in Buffalo and Erie County, and why residents should feel safe about participating in the census. Buffalo's census questionnaire completion rate is low. Our completion rate in Buffalo now is 52.7%, and that's problem for the city over the course of the next decade. We know that because of Buffalo being undercounted during the last of millions of dollars in federal aid that Buffalo was entitled to was sent to other communities. In 2010, almost a third of our population did not complete the census. We can't afford for that to happen again. The dual public health and economic crisis we are facing will require every dollar we deserve as we resume Buffalo's resurgence. To access those resources, we need every single person in Buffalo. Now, I understand that many people feel apprehensive about giving information to the government. All of us have to resist giving in to that fear. There are laws which the courts have upheld against repeated attacks to protect the information that you provide to the Census Bureau. Today, we are asking that we come together as a community to demonstrate that everyone counts. When each of us is counted as an individual, then our community becomes stronger as a whole. The census is not just a statistical exercise, it is a look into the spirit of our entire community by examining the diversity of people who make up our community. Let's all be counted and show why we are known as the city of good neighbors. I want to say a big thank you to all of our partners who have been instrumental in reaching out to communities across our city and county. Now it is my pleasure to introduce County Executive Mark Poloncarz, who has been a strong partner in working for a complete census count.
Thank you, Mayor Brown, and I want to thank you and your team for the work that you've done working with the county and all of our partners on the Complete Count committees, and there's multiple committees, to address this issue because it is so important. As Mayor Brown noted, there are hundreds of millions of dollars that are potentially at risk, aid that this community, and I'm not just talking about the city of Buffalo, but other communities, other towns, villages, and cities in Erie County, as well as the county, would receive based on our census being properly done and everyone counted. And it also matters with regards to our representation in Congress. We know that New York State in all likelihood is going to lose a congressional district. We believe Erie County has grown in the last 10 years, but we can only prove it if we have the statistic numbers from the census that shows that we have grown. And if we have grown, we should not lose a congressional representative, while other parts of New York State have certainly decreased and probably would. And this is not just a city issue. It is not just a problem with individuals in the city of Buffalo who have not responded. In the city of Lackawanna, the response rate is 55.9%. The national average is 65%. The county average is 69%. But the city of Lackawanna is lower. And the following towns in Erie County are all between 55 and 65% response. Evans, Brant, Newstead, Wales, Colvin, Holland, Concord, and Sardinia. As I noted recently, we get federal infrastructure aid, road money, based on our population. And in those communities I just talked about, they like to talk about how the roads are funded. They're funded also by federal dollars, and it's based on our population. So if you live in Colvin, Evans, Brant, Newstead, and those other communities I talked about, and you're not responding, you're only hurting your community because we will not receive as much money as we should with regards to federal road dollars. And I want to remind everybody, our best community has responded at 83% in Erie County. That's great, but it also means that 17% of the people that live or households in that community have not responded. So even in the communities where it looks like it's a great response, if you haven't responded, we need you to do it. Be a good neighbor. The city of Buffalo is the city of good neighbors, but we'd like to consider our county a county of good neighbors too. Be a good neighbor for each and every one of us by responding to the census. The census will close as of the end of this month. It has been shortened. It was going to go through October. It had been shortened by President Trump to the end of this month. And that's why we need everyone to respond now. If you haven't responded, please do so. You will help our community be properly really matter in the city of Buffalo, just like they matters in the town of Sardinia, Holland, Newstead, and the like. Please do so. Be a good neighbor, respond, and we will all be better for it. It's now my pleasure to introduce the director of the Buffalo and Erie County Library System, Mary Jean Jakubowski, and I want to thank her and her staff for the great work they've done addressing this issue by ensuring that people can respond to the census in a library branch, and they can do it safely. Director Jakubowski.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my great pleasure to join you this afternoon and to stress the importance of taking the 2020 census. Your Buffalo and Erie County Public Libraries are here to help. We are adding hours beginning this Saturday, September 12th. We expect you to join us in our libraries where you will find safe and free, high-speed internet access and staff poised and ready to help you to complete your 2020 census. So we hope to see you at the library where you can register with the census and get everyone counted. Thank you. I would like to now introduce to you the new director of the Buffalo Urban League, Thomas Buford.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. The Buffalo Urban League is proud to join the other community partners and our government leaders in stressing the importance of completing the 2020 census. From an effort from the Buffalo Urban League, we have already begun deploying resources. We are sending out youth. We're asking our seniors to make phone calls. We're going door to door. We have boots on the ground to support this very important initiative. As you know, our services in this community are highly dependent on being counted. So we not only want Buffalo to be heard, but we need Buffalo to be counted. We will be in different communities, specifically on the east and west side, where the participation rates or the completion rates are hovering around 50%. We want to help increase those numbers. So I myself, I'm championing this. Not only the new president of the Buffalo Urban League, but I'm also an enumerator. So the next knock on your door for this census is maybe from me. So look forward to helping this community get all the services that it deserves. And with that, I'm going to introduce my next community partner, the Executive Director of the Bell Community Center, Ms. Lucy Candelario.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Lucy Candelario. I am the Executive Director of the Bell Center. I'm just here to reiterate that we at the Bell Center are ready, willing, and able to assist the city and the county to get counted, have every one of our residents participate in the census, because we all know how important it really is. I just want to reiterate also that not to be scared. I mean, especially for our Latino community, there's nothing to be afraid of. We are not going to share the information with any other federal agencies. I would like to specifically say to the Latino community, and forgive me because I'm going to say it in Spanish, estamos disponibles para ayudarlo a cumplir el census. Por favor, los números cuentan mucho para la ciudad y un millón de gracias. Thank you, everyone. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Ram from the Buffalo International Institute.
Once again, thank you very much, everyone. It is my honor to be here. So from the Burmese community, we would like to participate and then make sure we set ourselves count in 2020 census. And not only that, from International Institute of Buffalo, we closely working with all the language services and with our language department to make sure everyone is count, not only focus on our client, it's also different area that need to be reached. So I encourage everyone to participate in this 2020 census response. And I'm gonna speak in Burmese now to encourage others too, because we have so many people that need to be count. So ကျေးဇူးပြုဆွေကျွန်တော်တို့မြန်မာ community ထဲမှာဒီ2020ဆွဲစာရင်းလူအိတ်စင်ကောက်ထဲမှာပေါ့နော်စာရင်းထည့်ဖို့မမိပါနဲ့ကျေးဇူးပြုဆွေစာရင်းတင်နဲ့တင်မိသားစုကိုထည့်ပြီးဖို့အားလုံးကိုတိုက်တွန်းလိုပါတယ်ကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ် Thank you.
Now I'm going to ask Jessica Lazarine, who is director of the city's Office of New Americans and chair of the Buffalo Complete Count Committee, to close out our formal comments on everyone filling out the census in Buffalo and Erie County.
A special thank you to Kam for the message and to Lucy for the messages in other languages. We're so grateful for our partners. We have had a number of youth programming focused on the census, and we will continue to push our volunteers to be out with internet accessibility, including tablets and hotspots, to help you answer questions and help you answer the census online where you are. And so if you do see a census enumerator, if you do see a volunteer and you know you haven't responded, just take the 5 minutes to respond. And if you have your smartphone and are willing to respond now, take the 5 minutes to respond to the census questionnaire. We really appreciate the efforts of all of our volunteers and are very grateful.
So County Executive Mark Polenkars and I have been working with our community partners throughout Buffalo and Erie County to make sure that every resident of our city and county is heard and also counted. We are looking for a 100% response rate to the census for 2020. We need every single resident in the city of Buffalo and in the county of Erie to be counted in the 2020 census. With that, we will open up to questions that the members of the media have. Michael?
When we had a chance to speak with the regional director of the census a little over a month ago, he said that there was 1,300 people that were going to be hired to go door to door to help count people. In that month since, it's only been about a 3% bump in the number of people who have filled it out. Are you surprised that it's so few that have increased the number? You know, if you get 10 people a day, I imagine the numbers could spike up pretty quickly.
Well, it's certainly a challenge. I'm going to have Jessica Lazarine speak to that in a moment. But as you heard today, many of us going door to door have people making calls into the community. So this is a community-wide effort. We can't just be reliant on the census enumerators, the census takers to get the job done. It's something that each and every one of us has a responsibility to make sure that we complete that census. Jessica?
And you're correct that there's disparity in the numbers because remember, the self-response rate has to do with the individual self-responding online by telephone or by mail. And so that rate is reported on a daily basis by the Census Bureau to the public. But the enumerators that are going door to door, that information is separate from the self-response rate. And the Census Bureau has estimated that they have reached about 70% of the population that has not self-responded. And so while we would have expected to see the bump, we won't see it until the Census Bureau is done with their calculations. They're not going to report in self-response rate all of the responses that they're getting. And I hope that makes sense. So that's,
So the 52.7% number for Buffalo, that's not reflective of the people who have gone door to door, just so I understand.
exactly.
Yes. In addition to counting citizens, tell us about the concerns about non-citizens who do get counted in the census but are concerned that if they reveal themselves, that perhaps they're exposing themselves for detainment or deportation. Tell us about the challenge of how that affects Buffalo's number.
So we are of refugees, potentially non-citizens. The census count by federal law is only for the purpose of counting the population. It cannot be shared with any other federal, state, or local agency. It is only for purposes of getting a complete and accurate count of the population. So no member of our community needs to be concerned or fearful that the information that they provide to the census will be shared with any other federal agency.
Anyone else? We all good? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.